Hi friends, today I'm going to cook up a caramelized Asian pork bowl or lettuce wrap. So in this pot I have some chopped ginger. No, not chopped ginger, sorry. I should have chopped ginger, but I don't have any ginger. So that's chopped garlic and onions. I'm going to put a bit of oil. I'll put the link to the recipe below. Of what it is and how I'm just doing it different. I don't have any ginger, so I'm going to use some dried ginger. Let that start to fry up. And I'm going to be using extra lean ground pork. So this package is just over £1. It's $5. Not the greatest deal, but it is what I had available. So I'm going to put that in here as well. And this is going to be served with shredded carrots and cucumbers on either a lettuce wrap or in a rice bowl. So I'm going to cook up some just plain rice, and this will serve my family of 4 for supper. Maybe there'll be leftovers if I'm lucky. But I'm just going to add some more ginger to the meat here. So my family likes Asian cooking, and the way that we can have Asian cooking is if I can find some recipes that I can mimic so that we don't have to spend money at the restaurant. So the recipe, I'm not going to measure anything because I don't, but the recipe called for fish sauce, and I get this at the store for a couple dollars for this big huge bottle, and you literally only need a little bit because it's very salty. You can get vegetarian fish sauce, which has no fish in it. It's just really salt. But this marinates the pork in traditional Vietnamese cooking. There's also lemongrass, so if you have lemongrass, you could throw it in. I don't have lemongrass, so this is why I chose this recipe versus some other ones. And I'm going to put some sesame oil. It's not really used as a cooking oil, but more as a flavor enhancer. So you don't need a lot, maybe a teaspoon or so. And you just mix that all around. It's really hard to do without holding the pan. Actually, instead of rice, I think I'm going to make rice vermicelli noodles, because they're even quicker than rice. I have some of those. I can get those at the dollar store for $1 or $1.25. I'm also going to add some oyster flavored sauce. Basically, if you have Asian seasonings, you can add whatever you want to it. And I have these ones, so I find it gives a nice little flavor. Also, if your area has a little Asian market, you can find a lot of this stuff really dirt cheap. And I find that their vegetables and their herbs are like really cheap and really good. Also, it's the best place that if you want to go vegetarian and get tofu, you can get the freshest tofu there for a couple dollars for a big huge tub. This is all cooked up already. Now I'm just going to add some soy sauce. I get a big, huge thing from the Asian market. That's like only about $4 maybe. And it's really good soy sauce. I get whatever is the cheapest. So when I run out of soy sauce, I use that. And I'm going to put some Chinese 5-spice. If you don't have 5-spice, you can get the individual spices and put them in. I think there's cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg. I'll put a link to below what's all in Chinese 5-spice. There's 5 spices in there that are traditional in Chinese, Vietnamese type of cooking. And I'm going to use, it calls for chili peppers, but I'm going to use this chilies and oil. But you can use just the shake-on red chilies that you can use for like pasta or that. But since I haven't, I'm going to use this. I'll put a little bit. A little of this goes quite a long way. And I'll add a nice little bit of heat to it. There we go. That's quite good. So this is basically done. To make this stretch further, you can chop cabbage or Chinese cabbage or Napa cabbage. Use bean sprouts. I'm going to use probably a little bit of cabbage and some bean sprouts if I have any left in the fridge. You can sprout your own bean sprouts by using the mung beans and sprout them, or you could purchase them. So here is a package of rice vermicelli noodles, and that's just a bowl of some hot water. And the best thing about rice vermicelli noodles is that you don't actually even have to cook it. You just put it in water. So if you don't have this, you can make rice, or you can use ramen noodles. Ramen noodles here, I can get them for about 25 cents to 39 cents a package. And I'm going to use 4 things here. Maybe more. Actually, I might do it all. And then I'll put the rest in the fridge if there's leftovers. My daughter has been wanting to make something like this for lunches too. Put in a container and have it for lunch. Oh yeah, and I forgot to put a bit of sugar in here. It calls for brown sugar. I'm going to put a bit of white to combat the saltiness of the fish sauce and the soy sauce. And it will just melt in the sauce here. So I julienned some cucumber, and I shredded some Napa cabbage, which is, or you might have it called a Chinese cabbage. This is what it looks like. I'm going to do a video on making kimchi with the rest of it, which is Korean, but it's not going to be very authentic because I can't get the Korean chili powder, the chili pepper powder, like ground up chili. So I'm just going to use what I have on hand. I have some Asian peppers that I'm going to grind up and make a powder with. But I'm also going to serve that with this too. And I have some lettuce. So we'll either serve this on lettuce as lettuce wraps, or I'm going to chop up some lettuce too for those who want to have it in a bowl and have it like that. And there's the vermicelli noodles. They're starting to cook and break apart. So this just sits for like 10-15 minutes, and they'll be cooked. And this will be supper. I'll take a picture of the finished thing. So for the vermicelli, I'm going to put some rice vinegar. This is what they do with like sushi rice and stuff. I'm just going to finish that off. And I'm going to put a little bit of mirin, which is a sweet cooking rice wine, to help give it a little bit of flavor. And if you don't have either of those, which those can be found in the international aisle, you can just use a little bit of white wine vinegar. It just gives it a bit of flavor to the vermicelli, or have it just plain. If you have seasoned fish sauce, where you'd use the fish sauce and some lime and some sugar and ginger and garlic, you could put that in there as well. But I didn't do that, but I could. And I'm just going to stir this up. Put some in my bowl as the base. So you can put as little or as much as you want. And I cooked up just some shrimp with some butter. My husband's wanted some shrimp. He likes it, so I will do that for those who like shrimp. A bit of the pork and a bit of cucumbers. And a bit of the Napa cabbage. And we have supper. And I'll serve it with some lettuce wraps that people can scoop some of this and stir it all up. Maybe put a bit of soy sauce if they want to, or some hot sauce, or some hoisin sauce. Stir it all up and put it in a lettuce piece and eat it like that. Or just use a fork and eat it like that. So it's relatively cheap. You can do it with any cut of meat, ground beef or steak or chicken, pan fry it and cook it up. So just a little something different. If you have bean sprouts or bamboo shoots or shredded carrots, I didn't have any carrots left, so this is what we're doing.